Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Jordana and this is What It Is, where we talk about tarot, we talk about esoterica, we talk about the universe, quantum reality, manifestation, creating your most desired reality, living in abundance and freedom, liberation, and I've just decided to share what my practice has been with you guys. And so for the past year, almost, 200-ish days, I've been reading A Course in Miracles. I'm just going to share where I am in the book, and we are on review lessons. Lesson 75, God is but love, and therefore so am I. I give the miracles I have received. I am home. Fear is the stranger here. So I've skipped a few days probably. I'm on 175 days. And the way that this book has aligned with events in my life is profound. And it is profound how it came into my life. My mother had always wanted me to read it and suggested it to me over and over. After her passing, I found it very soon after, within a month maybe of coming home. I found it in the little library down the street, brought it home and started to read it. And it really has connected me with her spirit and helped me understand her perspective and what I was missing because of my own perceptions about who she was. It's been a very powerful journey, and I'm so grateful to her. And to everyone who is tuning in right now, and know that these readings are timeless. Time is an illusion. And whenever you are receiving this reading, this information, know that it is coming in divine timing, because you are ready to hear the message. I read 3 across, 3 down, kind of like a tic-tac-toe board. I do a mind, body, spirit line, and then I do past, present, and future. The center line is like the alignment, where one needs to stay in that sense of neutrality. I've already shuffled. I just accidentally shuffled again, so let me reset the deck and we'll get right into it. I love this, and I have a significator deck where I just draw 1 card a day from my good luck deck. So mind, body, and spirit, past, present, and future. I'm just laying the cards down, and already I can see that this is turning into something beautiful. A lot of pentacles. The deck I've been reading is the Angel deck, and I've been reading this deck since I was somewhere between 11 and 14. I honestly can't remember exactly when I got this, but it was the first tarot deck. I bought it for myself. I think I made my sister buy it for me, but I picked it out. And I might have even paid her back. In the line of the mind, we have the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. That clinging to the past, an inability to create a new future because your mind is so caught up in the stories of the past and the perceptions that you create as a result. The beliefs that you hold on to as a result of believing the stories of the past. When things happen, of course, an acknowledgement and awareness of them and how they affected you is part of making those subconscious programs conscious so that you can alchemize and heal them. Because denial is not a river in Egypt. And so you must be able to allow yourself to expose the parts of yourself that you've kept hidden because you were worried that it would offend people, or that it made you not good enough, or that a part of you was bad. By going into that darkness, that is how we get the reset. That is how we get to start over. Because then you start to transmute the stories. And in the center line of the mind, what is necessary in the present and the energy to embody right now is the Prince of Wands. And in this deck, it is represented by Krishna. And Krishna is all about enjoying the pleasures of life because he's very magnetic. He allows himself the liberation of spirit, the liberation of his mind, to have a beginner's perception about life and to take it as it comes from a place of, watch yourself, pause, to take it as to take life as a fresh new beginning, as something joyful and playful, and to see things from that perspective of newness, not leaning too hard into excess or arrogance, because then that leads to attachment. And in the future line of the mind is the Devil card, which represents attachment. If we lean too far into excess in anything, even spirituality, even personal growth, it becomes a crutch and you become dependent on it being a part of your life for you to feel aligned. When the truth is, it's more about keeping that internal flame within you aligned. And the devil also shows attachment to control, to doing things the way you think they should be done, instead of feeling into them, allowing love to be the guide, allowing giving from your heart to be what guides you towards your purpose and what guides you towards your highest good and the highest version of yourself. Because the path of the oneness, the seeking of the oneness, the journey of themselves is all about finding that connection to one's highest self. And when one is in alignment with their highest self, you are in alignment with the universe, mind, body, and soul. And then you are able to materialize and manifest your visions and goals so much easier because you're no longer getting in your own way. By thinking that money has to come in hard ways, by thinking that you have to work hard to deserve something, or by leaning too much on vice so that you burn yourself out and the only way you can relax or disassociate or feel that sense of liberation is through vice, because that will keep you trapped in a loop as well. And in the body line with the Queen of Stones or the Queen of Pentacles, she is represented by the Spider Woman. The Spider Woman is the keeper of the tales, of the history, of the lineage, of the secrets of the universe, and passes them on down hereditarily. We all carry these codes from our ancestors, and these codes epigenetically inform ourselves. Before we're even born, we already have belief systems being passed down into us. Even while we're in gestation, we're picking up on whatever is going on in the outside environment, absorbing it. And then they sponge off their parents' emotions and they're seeking to get their needs met. And then when those needs aren't met, wounds like abandonment, lack of love, lack of security, disconnection, these wounds start to be formed. And then these wounds form belief systems that form our perceptions. And so to bring the body through healthy pleasure to a foundation of richness and enjoyment of life is how you expand your capacity to receive. Because without that foundation of gladness, of appreciation, of gratitude for life, and just allowing yourself to experience all of the juice and the good that it has to offer, the minute you start to get too big, the minute you surpass your level, or it feels like you're going to surpass your most comfortable zone, your nervous system is going to start to trip out. And that's where self-sabotage comes into play. In the future position of the body, representing much of that self-sabotage, is the Seven of Stones, is failure. because the nervous system will constantly pull you back into that comfort zone because it knows how to keep you safe there. Assume positive intent with as much as you possibly can in your life. When we start to assume a negative intent, it's through a perception. We're living through the past in that moment, rather than staying present in a place of curiosity. How can I build this foundation? How can I build this into a bridge towards what I want? Rather than getting locked into some sort of paradigm. Oh, they said this, and this means this because in my past I had this experience and that informed this thought that I'm having right now. And it hurts in my body. Or I have a sense of fear in my body and I'm holding on to it, so I start shrinking or putting up walls. I stop moving from love and I start moving from fear. And that fear is heavy. That fear is a heavier, denser, more slow-moving vibration. It's a slower frequency. So the vibration starts to slow down and you start to hold yourself back. What happens when you're trying to put the gas and the brakes on in your car at the same time? Some frustration. Ease up. Let life feel easy. Let go. Keep a light touch. And trust that everything you want is coming your way. In the past position is evidence of material gain within the spirit. When you fill the spirit with a sense of abundance, by being generous to the universe and by trusting that the universe is infinitely abundant, you can have whatever you like. As long as you are willing and able to have the inner strength to attune yourself to that sense of richness and play and joy. Love is the highest version of everything. And if you've ever experienced love, it's joy. It's oneness, it's unity. We have within the spirit line, in the present moment, understanding that need to shed old skins. Understanding that need to let go of old identities. To understand that it truly is a mental game because we live in a mental universe. And we have the Six of Swords in the future position of the spirit, showing that with that balance and that understanding, that scientific awareness of how the laws of the universe work, that allows you to move freely because you understand how to play the game on a whole different level. I'm not seeing in this spread is a whole lot of emotion. The Prince of Wands can get emotional, and lineages are emotional, but we have no cups in here. I haven't been reading the runes for as long. These runes have been in my family for a very long time. And I actually made this set of runes for my mother more than 2 decades ago. And so it's special to get them returned to me now so that I can learn so much from them. They come with this book, and I often read right out of the book because it's so beautiful. The commentary is by Ralph Bloom. The runes often tell the same story as the cards, and they are just a different aspect of it, a different exploration of it, and a different perspective. I read it in a cross, an inverted cross form. Present, past, future. The basis of the reading. What the challenge is, and then what the highest outcome is. In the present position, we have Laguz, which represents flow. That ability to move and change with the seasons and to change with the tides and to let things happen from a place of inner stability, knowing that you can navigate whatever is coming your way. Correlates with strength. There's a lot of movement in this card of strength and water flowing and shedding of the skin. And so this is that sense of conducting something, and that there's active unseen powers at play here that allow you to, the universe, I think of it as very feminine, it flows. And so here is this element of water and more of this element of emotional qualities, and fulfills our need to immerse ourselves in the experience of living without having to evaluate and understand. Have the comfort within our desires. The satisfaction of emotional needs is what helps us bring our desires into fruition. This rune also symbolizes a time for cleansing, for purifying, represented by strength and the shedding of the skin, letting go of old beliefs and emotions, learning how to release those emotions and transmute them physically, whether you're moving, dancing, connecting with nature, being around water, swimming, working out, breathing. There's all these different ways to transmute and change, transform energy in the body so that it conducts more freely. Alchemizing. In the past position, we have Perth represents an initiation into something hidden, into the esoteric, into the mystery of life. It's a heretic calling, pointing to that which is beyond our frail manipulative powers. We live in a mental universe. We create our reality, that discernment, but we are still subject to the laws of the universe. When we understand how to transform situations, that is how we allow ourselves to become whole. Because when we hang on to judgments or perceptions of things and live through old traumas, we are fragmenting ourselves. We're hiding parts of ourselves and not allowing ourselves to be free, to be whole, to be worthy. We think that we have to conform. And so we tamp down and we secret parts of ourselves away because we feel like we will be unacceptable, or we don't express our true desires because we fear we will be seen as unacceptable or wanting too much. Who are you to step outside of the box? When really, the Prince of Wands shows us that that is so magnetic. When you just live full in yourself and you love yourself regardless, as number one, the universe first. Because without the universe, who would we even be? We're part of the great all. We create the algorithm. So, keeping that inner reflection as steady, as strong, as joyful, as foundationally supported, supporting that emotional quality, not getting tossed from here and there, right? Keeps us in that place where we're able to continuously transform, because that is what the future always calls for. The path to your highest version of yourself is going to have all kinds of things happen. It's going to be strewn with obstacles, with little failures, with ego deaths. Everything put in your path to hone you, to give you that new beginning, to become the hero of your own story. Because Inguz is in the future position. Fertility, new beginnings. We keep getting this rune. Completion of old stories is what the new beginning requires. Let them be complete. Yes, X, Y, and Z happened. Yes, it hurt. Yes, I learned. Now I'm transformed. Claiming it, speaking it into your existence. The way we speak and the words we choose deeply affect everything. One sound reverberates endlessly the universe. Being very discerning. Having that scientific approach to life, that curiosity, that experimentational quality, and that discernment of what observations we're actually making and what conclusions we're drawing. To allow ourselves to have those chrysalis moments, those times when we let everything dissolve and turn into the goo. That place of awe before we're reborn. And Awaz is in the foundational position of this reading. This is to build the proper defenses, have the proper foundation to support the riches that you're building. You need to develop yourself, develop a new foundation. Starting something new or completing a journey or starting off on a new journey requires an inner foundation of strength. And not to be overly attached to timing, to use patience to your advantage. There's no lusting after your desired outcomes, because then you start leaning into attachment and you don't have that light touch anymore. You're clinging. The ability to wait while you're in that chrysalis state, to observe, to be patient, to form new ways of being, is what's called for here. Othila is retreat, separation, inheritance. Of separating old paths, old skins must be shed, outmoded relationships must be discarded. A peeling away is called for. Othila is a rune of radical severance. The proper action here is submission and quite possibly retreat, knowing how and when to retreat and possessing the firmness of will to carry it out. It does show up in reverse, which correlates to the Six of Swords. Because in life, we must not be too mechanical, not overthink everything, not be unaware of the emotional qualities of life, not be bound by our old conditioning and old authorities, but asking ourselves what feels right and acting according to what feels in alignment with our highest good and the light that we possess now. Radical honesty, radical self-awareness is called for here. Otherwise, through the negligence of not being able to see yourself clearly, you may cause pain to others through repeating old patterns or damage yourself. So not leaning into rigidity, but leaning into that flow is the proper attitude at this time. Because you have to be willing to give the time for the universe to respond to your new vibration, to your new frequency. And the great lesson in this rune is to remember that we do without doing, and everything gets done. We do without doing, and everything gets done. because it is not about what you are doing. It is about who you are being while you are doing it. Because who you are being is what sends out the energetic frequency out into the universe. And that's what the universe is going to correspond to. The energy behind your words, the energy behind your emotions, the frequency. And Berkana comes in the future position, which we've also gotten recently. And this time it is in reverse. It's pointing to aspects of you that are holding you back. Aspects of your character that are interfering with this new growth and this new life. Rather than be dismayed at this knowledge, understand that what is called for here is diligence, inner strength, inner alignment. Examine what has taken place in your life. What are your needs and what are the needs of others in this time? Are you placing your wants above everyone else's needs? Keep stripping away those old skins until you can identify what is truly blocking you from your growth. Then, gently, lightly, like the wind, begin to initiate change. And a time like this may require you to refertilize the ground again and again. But it is through that correct preparation that growth is assured. Gratitude, the beginning every day from a beginner's mindset and saying, what can I build today? How can I connect today? How can I reach my people today? How can I serve today? I'm so grateful that I have this opportunity to be alive. I'm so grateful that I get to be in this reality. And I'm so grateful that I get to see how good is it going to get. How good is it going to get? How much better can it get? How much bigger can I be? How much more accepting of miracles? How much more can I hold? How can I increase my capacity to receive? All so interesting questions. Rather than suppressing our desires, how can I support them and facilitate them? How can I safely expand? Knowing what I know, how do I allow myself the freedom and the liberation to live a life so full and so free? Getting out of bed in the morning is the most exciting thing I can think of, and I can't wait to get started on my day. I'm so grateful for all of the little riches that I have because they all comprise themselves into big riches. The love that I share with the world is returned to me tenfold, though that is not my purpose for being. My purpose for being is to connect to the highest parts of myself, those highest aspects of myself, the God within, the energy that is the great all. That oneness, that love. And so, as we come to that time, that is what I'm going to leave you with. Keep supporting yourself to bring your visions into fruition. Keep giving yourself that love so you can pour from a place of overflow, joy, bringing beauty and splendor into the world, focusing on that. Making life delightful, being the main character. living your life as full and rich and exciting and unexpectedly as possible. All right, my loves. I'll talk to you soon.